It was a time when brother fought against brother, a time when the United States of America was anything but united. The year was 1861, and the nation was on the brink of tearing itself apart. This is the story of the American Civil War, a story of courage, sacrifice, and the fight for freedom. The roots of this bloody conflict trace back decades before the first shot was fired. The North and South were divided not just by geography, but by their way of life. The industrial North thrived on innovation, while the agrarian South was built on the backs of enslaved people. These differences planted the seeds of a conflict that would eventually explode into war. The fuse was lit on April 12, 1861, when Confederate forces opened fire on Fort Sumter in South Carolina. The Union garrison, under siege for 34 hours, finally surrendered. The Civil War had begun, and there was no turning back. The war that followed was brutal and relentless. From the blood-soaked fields of Antietam to the decisive Union victory at Gettysburg, each battle brought new horrors and heroes. The turning point came in 1863, as the Union began to gain the upper hand under the leadership of President Abraham Lincoln and General Ulysses S. Grant. In the midst of the conflict, President Lincoln made a bold move that would change the course of the war and the nation. On January 1, 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that all enslaved people in Confederate-held territory were free. This transformed the Civil War into a fight not just for the Union, but for human freedom. After 4 long years of bloodshed, the war finally came to an end. On April 9, 1865, General Robert E. Lee surrendered to General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. The Union was preserved, but the scars of the conflict would take generations to heal. The Civil War was over, but its impact would be felt for years to come. It reshaped the United States, leading to the abolition of slavery, the reconstruction of the South, and the eventual civil rights movement. The war tested the very idea of a united nation, and in the end, it was a test that the country survived, though at a tremendous cost. The American Civil War was a dark chapter in the nation's history, but it was also a turning point. It reminded us that the fight for freedom and equality is never easy, and that the cost of division is always too high. As we remember the sacrifices made by those who fought, we must also commit to building a future where such a conflict is never repeated. Thank you for watching. If you found this story of the American Civil War compelling, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories from history that shaped our world.